Hi there, Shirley on God's team, back again to be with you. I love to hang out with you guys on God's team. Last time I told you about how a teenager saved our daughter's life. Amazing, and I was so grateful. But teenagers aren't the only ones. What about little kids? Let me tell you about my number 2 child. We were at a park out in Sultan, if you happen to know where that is. It's right by the river, and there's a lot of ground in between the river and where we were. We were up in a motorhome visiting with different relatives. It was a real fun get-together. And our little girl, she was 4, she was out just not far away from the motorhome playing. And I went in the motorhome to take care of some things. And probably about 10 minutes went by. I should have been watching closer. We parents aren't always perfect, and that includes me. But I didn't watch as closely as I should. All of a sudden I heard, kind of from far away, "Shirley!" I thought, oh, they're just playing out there, but boy, that sounded kind of far away. So I finished up a few things. I took too long because what had happened in the meantime, in that 10 minutes, is that my daughter had gone out to the river, and her little cousin was there. He was 6. He was the one that was calling me. Our daughter had actually gotten in the water, and it was kind of pulling her away in the river, the Snohomish River, a very powerful river. Well, by the time I got out there, something had happened. I wasn't fast enough. I learned my lesson for sure, but my little nephew and our little daughter were both walking up out of the river. They were sopping wet. What had happened, I found out, is our little girl had gone in the river. The boy wanted me to come and rescue them. I wasn't fast enough. And so this little 6-year-old boy went out in the river too. They both could have been drowned. It was so scary. But they weren't. He pulled her out of the river. He rescued her. Wow, was I glad. And I made sure nothing like that happened again, and I kept a closer eye on our children. That's been quite a few years ago, and now my daughter is an awesome person. Her name happens to be Melody, and she's always been a melody to my heart. And she just loves Jesus. She blesses other people. And if she hadn't been saved, the world would be different for a lot of people. But she was saved by a little child. Kind of reminds me in the Bible where little kids, the parents wanted to bring them up to Jesus, and the disciples thought, forget you guys, get out of here. You're messing with somebody important. And Jesus changed that quickly. He said, let the little kids come to me. Of such is the kingdom of heaven. And he took them in his lap and held them and probably told them stories and had a good time with them and showed the disciples that little kids are way important. So if you're a parent of little kids, I know sometimes it's tough, but it's also such a great joy, and you have such a privilege to implant good things and love your children, and they're going to grow up with just the blessing that you impart to them. So I hope you say to them, like with teenagers too, I'm so proud of you. I love you. There's nobody like you. You're going to change the world. You're going to bless people and read them stories and all the good things that I also used to do. Now I've got grandchildren and even, believe it or not, a great-granddaughter, which is awesome. And so remember how important little children are, and bless them and love them. I know you do, but just a reminder how special they are. Thanks. On God's team, bye-bye.